Welcome to the Beginner's Room with me today, everyone. Whether you're joining me on YouTube or you are in the XM Beginner's Room, today we are looking at chart patterns trading, and I would like you to participate. If you have questions, you have patterns you've been able to recognize from any time frame, any instrument you want us to see, and perhaps trade together, do well to let know in the comments. As we look at them. So basically, we are looking at chart patterns. We have different kind of patterns that we trade in the market. And as traders, especially for technical traders, I think pattern is one of the basis of technical analysis, being able to identify some shapes, shapes that are formed as prices are moving is a very important aspect of trading. When we look into the market and we take our time to go back in history, you would see majority of the patterns we talk about, continuation patterns, reversal patterns that are formed in the past. Just as I open here, I'm already seeing different patterns and they give idea of trade opportunities. You're able to look for signals on your own. Patterns are quite easy to identify. Some of them, they take the form of alphabets. For instance, we know W, we all learned this in elementary school. This is like letter W, right? That's a pattern in trading that gives us idea that there's going to be a reversal from a downtrend back into an uptrend. At the end of the day, pattern just give us change in structure or continuation of the structure. If we're talking about continuation patterns, they tell us that this structure, this trend is going to continue the way it has been. So if there's an established trend, you see uptrend, a continuation pattern is showing that this uptrend wants to continue. So you're going to see different examples. We're going to see different examples of continuation patterns today. If you have, say, a downtrend like this, price was falling, and then you see a reversal pattern like this, it shows that this is changing, moving away from this trend into another. All right. So in the case of this one, you would also see that accompanied with a pattern is a change in the structure, change of character. You'd see here we have a new low, right? But this low here is slightly higher than the low we have here. Then what happened? As at the time the price closes higher like this, we have a high that is higher than this. So basically we are now moving away from lower low, lower highs to higher highs and higher lows. And these are characteristic of uptrending market. So pattern will help you to see this, will help you to determine these changes, that the prices are moving away, from one direction into another. And that can help you find good trade ideas in the market. We have like another smaller double bottom here, so these patterns are everywhere and you can use them to find good trade ideas for yourself in the market. So not just patterns that are here that we can see on this chart as I open it now. These are not just all the patterns we have. There are other patterns that we can talk about in the market. So I'll just share some of them into this class. Let's see how many we're able to cover. And as we talk about each one, we will go and look for example on the chart and even see whether these examples can help us to find trade ideas. These different patterns, you can use them to trade, whether you are a swing trader, a day trader, or even a position trader, even a scalper, you can find these different trades. Now, chart patterns give us idea, like I said earlier, of both reversal and continuation of the trend. Is the trend going to continue in this established downtrend, or is it going to change and move to an uptrend? The patterns we see can give us this idea. So for some people who get familiar with patterns like this, this may be all they look out for, and they're able to trade well in the market and make money from the charts. So you also want to be able to identify them. Patterns may serve as your major analysis style. It may also be like added confirmation factor for you. For me, for example, sometimes if I just see pattern, as long as it aligns with the structure, I've been able to do my multi-time frame analysis, check the weekly, check the daily, the 4 hour. I have an idea of the structure of the market. I see market direction there. By the time I am on the 4 hour and then I see a pattern there, I'm able to use that as a confirmation factor to kind of fit in with the setup I am looking for. I already have an idea of direction now, a setup that would fit in with that direction. I might be looking at just, okay, an uptrend, just a pure price action, and then a pattern comes up and it serves as added confirmation. So these are ways that we can use pattern. Pattern can go a long way in helping you find good trade ideas from time to time on the chart. So you want to be able to recognize these patterns, know how you trade them at any time. Okay. Hi, please shout out. Hello, Vishnu Hoda score high hairs 37 on YouTube. I'm happy to have you join me. Welcome to the chat. If you do have any question at all, feel free to ask me your question as we look into different charts today, as we look into different chart patterns that we can trade with. All right. So we know for continuation pattern, they help us to join the same direction. The market is already moving in a particular direction. The continuation pattern would help us to join in on the trend. If I come into the market and I see that there is already established trend and the price, is moving strongly in a particular direction, I maybe, careful not to jump in too early or too late and maybe wondering, oh, is the price going to change direction? Are we now getting back into a downtrend? But if I see a continuation pattern, it gives me the reassurance that this has higher probability of continuing in the same direction. And in such case, I am able to join in on the trend and continue with the trend in that case. So for instance, this is the chart of oil, and you would see that it fell for some times. The price did push down for some times after the major upward move that we saw at the period that the geopolitical unrest started. We saw this sharp move to the upside, then the price fell, and then it got into a consolidation at some point, pushed out of that consolidation to the downside. And now we have a reversal pattern after this move to the downside, a reversal pattern, and the price is now moving up. Now, if I come here and I see, for instance, right now, the price is pushing back down. A continuation pattern can help me see whether this is still going to continue up. So say that as the price is moving down right now, it moves this way, something like this. I may be able to define a flag pattern from there. And if the price finally breaks above here again, I'll go ahead and look for a buy, right? Now, it is moving down at the moment, not so much yet, so I have the feeling that it is going to retrace. But it is also possible that it changes direction from there. So if what I see, instead of what I just drew now, I see something like this, this is a reversal pattern. This can also give me an idea that the price is changing. It's moving away from the up back into a downtrend, just like we saw this W pattern here, which shows that the price is moving away from the down back into uptrend. If we see letter hem, form also, which is double top, we can also expect that the price has higher potential of moving to the downside. Okay. So these are what we'll be expecting in based on what we are analyzing in the market. Okay, so let's look at more of the patterns. We'll look at some examples of this pattern. Examples are channel. Channel are quite common. Channel can also be converted to like flag pattern. You can look at it, compare where the price is coming from. For instance, if I see this kind of channel and the price is initially moving from the upside with a clear impulse move down like this, I can take this as flag pattern. So channel and flags are kind of common or kind of connected, or patterns that are close to each other. So channels, an ascending channel or a rising channel, what does it tell us? It tells us that the price is, in an indecisive state. The buyers and sellers are not really moving past each other so much, but at least the buyer is still winning slightly in between that consolidation. But we can see that there is no momentum in that market. The highs are not really so much different from the last one, but it's still somehow tilted to the upside. When that pattern form, we call it an ascending channel, and it usually tells that we are in a correction. And our expectation would be for price to break below. And when that happens, we would be looking to sell. When that happens, we'll look out for sell opportunity below this place. And this one is best traded in a downtrending market, which means that I want to see the price, move down for some times before this starts to happen. Another point to note is that the last eye here, the highest point within this formation of the high channel shouldn't go above the last eye. A lot of the time when that happens, that it has gone above the last eye, it may be a reversal pattern. It may end up being a reversal of the trend. But if it doesn't get to, even if it comes quite close to it, but it doesn't go above the last eye we saw when the price was trending down like this, then we will expect that it still has potential to push down. So our expectation would be to see the price below the support. And when that happens, we'll go ahead and look for sell. Okay. So this one is a bearish pattern in a downtrend. And then we have the descending channel. The descending channel is like this one, where we have lower low within that channel formation. Lower lows and lower highs are forming, but we also see that there isn't momentum within the formation. Every new low is just a little bit lower than the last one. It's not so much lower than the last one. So what do we want to see here? Price has formed an uptrend, it has gone like this, and then it's ranging. So this is usually found in an uptrend. We want to see initially that price isn't moving up, even if it's just for a while. Price has moved up, and then the price forms like this, a range for a while, and we will expect a breakout when we see the body of the candle above the resistance trend line of that channel. What are we looking to do? We'll be looking for buy outside of it. When the price breaks out, we'll look for a buy to do above this level. So that's what we'll consider. Then for the sideways channel, this one is like a bilateral pattern. It can give idea of reversal. It can give idea of trend continuation. What's important is where does the price break out of this consolidation? Price has been ranging for a while. Has it broken above or below? It is also very important for this one, in fact, for channels generally, that when the price breaks out first, we wait a bit to find pullback. Okay. This one, because it's a continuation of the trend, I may still be more aggressive in my entry and enter once I see the body of the candle outside. The same with this. But for this one, it's a sideways channel. So if the price breaks out, say that the price breaks below here, I'll wait for pullback and then confirmation candle. I won't jump in immediately here. Why? Because there is the possibility that it's a sweep. The price comes below this level, gets back up and goes above here, retests it, and then continue to push to the upside. Okay, so in that case, it is best that we wait for pullback, a breakout pullback, and then a confirmation candle. Let's go look for example of channels on our charts. Let's start with gold. This is a small one, but it is there. The price moved within this place and formed, higher highs, just tiny higher highs in between. And what happened? Price broke below this level, retraced a bit, pushed down, and moved all the way down. If I see this kind of move, the price broke out, either I join right away because it's been in a downtrend and I expect that the price continues down, or I wait, let the pullback happen. Let me see the continuation can. All right. All right. So at this point, we're going to be moving fully to the beginners room. If you're joining me from YouTube, please move on to XM beginners room. If you do not have an account, be sure to register and join in the beginners room. We'll take a break for 1 minute and be back again. Thank you.